welcome to another episode of On the Air. I'm your host, Sydney Smith, and I'm here with Evan Sahulk, who is a strongman out of Ghana and holds several world records. He had his first appearance at the World's Strongest Man this past year and has an inspiring story you won't want to miss.
I'm doing this league called the Strongman Champions League. So we travel around the world where we compete.
Okay.
And we're on the fourth stage in Serbia. So right after Worlds, I was in Manchester last week, and I'm flying down to Serbia now, which has been really hectic. So everything is not the same. So in case of any slowdowns with replies, I'm really sorry. Forgive me.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. That sounds very hectic, but I'm glad we could make it work to hear more about you and what's going on in your life right now.
Yeah. So I'll be excited as well because, like, AIRWAAV has been a big part in my success. I mean, it's been one of the most important stuff in my strongman career, and I'm looking forward to talk about it, my journey and everything with AIRWAAV, my experience.
Yeah, of course. I'm glad to hear that. So where were you before Serbia?
So I was in Manchester for a meet and greet. That was literally last week. I was back on Monday, and I had to fly to Serbia on Wednesday. So I had just
oh my goodness.
Prepare, yeah?
You are all over the place right now.
Yeah, basically, but I'm really grateful because I used to pray for times like these, where I could get to inspire, get to create, and get to be myself. So I'm finally living the life, and I'm really grateful.
Yeah. So you are originally from Ghana, correct?
Yeah, I was born in Ghana, West Africa, Accra, to be precise, the city capital, the country's capital.
That's so cool. So how did you go? I assume strongman is not super popular in Ghana, is it?
There is nowhere close to strength sports in Ghana, literally. So I made history. I made history by becoming the first strongman representing my country, and it's been a really beautiful journey. Like getting to connect the dots and meeting beautiful people. It's been one hell of a ride, if I'd put it.
That's such an accomplishment too, especially starting something in a place that isn't super popular, and you never know, like you might be setting a new tone for Ghana and getting more people interested in the sport too. And I think that's super cool. And obviously hasn't been done before there at all.
Yeah, to be honest, I deem it a big privilege to be like part of history. So I happen to be the first, having motivated a few people that are now doing the sports and, really taking it serious because they do understand there's a big future ahead of it and they could make some money out of it, a living out of it, if I put it. So it's been a big privilege, like leading the road and like exposing this to the people back in Ghana.
Yeah. So how did you even get introduced to strongman to begin with?
To be honest, I wasn't supposed to do this. I wasn't supposed to be here. I call myself a proof of possibility because I studied to be an accountant. I have an MBA in an accountant, literally, and I was supposed to like work for Deloitte, literally in consulting. So back in, was it 20? No, I forgot the exact year, but when I was 14, I moved to Belgium from Ghana to join my parents, and that's why I had my high school education. So Belgians are pretty much more closed, and I didn't have anything to do. I didn't have any sports background, so I just joined the gym, the local gym back then. So just to, have a sense of identity, because I was scared of like jumping into any like social vices, these guys doing bad stuff. So I started training, but then I had no purpose, just going to the gym just to, fulfill time, just to be more myself. So as time went on, I started picking up heavyweights effortlessly, and people who had seen me on that journey literally realized the strength I had. So I remember they calling me Hulk. Literally, Hulk is a green guy, obviously, but with the persona, representing strength, which was really frustrating because I didn't even know I had the strength in me. I didn't even believe it. So I remember getting kicked out from the gym for deadlifting because back in the days, deadlifting was not too popular in Belgium. It's also a new region to strength sports. So I was kicked out because they thought I was making much noise, the weights, banging the weights on the ground. So I didn't take it personal. It was really interesting to me because I was following the market in the States, looking up to athletes like back in the days was an athlete called Simon Panda, looking up to like obviously Ronnie Coleman's back videos, looking up to like Eddie Hall, and obviously Brian Shawn. Yeah. So I used to copy these guys last time, and I was living a different lifestyle. So people in the gym didn't understand what I was doing. So fast forward, COVID came in, and all gyms were closed, and I didn't have anywhere to go. So it was really frustrating because I had identified, to be a gym guy, and gym literally brought the best out of me. And I realized the positive effects of going to the gym and passing my exams. That was really, really exceptional because the more I did good in the gym, the better I did at school and the better I did at work. That was a positive correlation I thought. So it was really hard to skip the gym. So at that point, I was so addicted to the gym, I wanted to do something. And I saw a friend of mine on Instagram lift stones. So I just randomly sent him a DM, hey, can I join you, train? Because I was almost stressed, not depressed, but almost stressed out. Because like I said, I was in my exam period and I had to do something to release the pain and stress and everything. So he invited me 3 years ago, literally now, 2022, and I remember having to figure out stuff. So it became challenging, something which was really interesting becoming challenging, just to like pick it up. So I was not good at it, but I enjoyed doing it. And I had to connect the bits and pieces together, and he became my first coach. His name was Eduardo Van Pot from Belgium as well. I have El Salvadorian and a half Belgian. So we both literally had to figure out stuff, lifting stones. And I did my first competition 3 months after. I came third with no experience, with no good form. But then having to connect the bits and pieces from the, ligaments, the strong ligaments I had built over the decade, I just put everything together and I just went forward. So doing research, I realized there were like other competitions like the Champions Leagues, which I'm doing now. Giants Live, you had World's Strongest Man. So I asked myself, how can I get there? How's this possible? So then again, I went back seeing guys like Eddie Hall, like Half Top Bjornsson, and all these guys, profiling and actually being big in the sports. So I reached out to a few people. Of course, I had almost no reply. Just like in the corporate world, you having to apply for so many applications and no one almost reached out to you. I didn't lose hope. I kept going and I saw an opening for the Champions League qualifiers in Finland. I applied for it and I actually had it. So I had to go prove myself. And at the same time, I had an exam period. So I had to make choice. I chose to go to Finland because if there was a voice inside of me saying, Evans, go for it. So I remember having to break into my savings then because I was not super rich. I bought the flights to Finland, which was pretty expensive. I think that was £1,000. I went to Finland, really motivated and highly prepared, as a fresh athlete. And unfortunately, I came dead last in that comp. I was really frustrated, but the little voice in my head said, Evans, yeah, we're not finished yet. We just begun. Keep going. But one unique thing I possessed was the crowd's reaction towards me competing, because I genuinely love to compete. Competing to me was like a therapy. The crowd was always with me because people who know Finland, the Finns are pretty much more closed as well. They don't really welcome outsiders. But one beautiful thing that happened is the Finns were actually cheering for me because they saw the resilience and they saw the passion. I was like, doing stuff in. Because most strongmen happen to live in their head. It's like me against the material, but for me, I always acknowledge the crowd, always kept show moving and stuff. And the director at that time, Elka, saw a different thing in me. He was like, yo, Evans, let me have a chat with you. You didn't come first in the comp, obviously. Normally we're choosing 3 people, but I do believe you have something unique inside of you and, of course, a room to grow. So he gave me my first. He spoke to the big boss about me from Champions League. And 2 weeks after, I had my biggest invite for my pro show. I was in Romania. And that's why I earned my nickname, the Ghanaian Gladiator, because of my fighting spirits. Then again, with the joy and energy I had, I went in there, but this time pretty much more prepared. I came fifth. That was so amazing because at that time there happened to be like 4 world strongest men competitors in there, and I know it was a chance to really prove myself. So I came fifth with almost like no preparations, no nothing. And that was when the journey began. That was when the success story began, and everything else followed. But like I said, one thing I always had is I really genuinely enjoy competing. I love giving back, and I'm always myself. I'm very positive. I love smiling. I love cheering the crowd. That's everything to me. Like, literally, these little things keep me going. Yeah, to wrap things up from how it began. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot in that I think is super commendable and just really inspiring overall. And I think you have a lot of raw talent, but there also, as you had said, there's like something else within you that's going to take you further than the raw talent is going to take you. And other people seeing that in the beginning of your journey, I think that also helps with encouraging you a little bit just to, you believe it yourself, but then also hearing it from someone outside of you, I think takes you even a little bit further than just the voice inside your head. And you started you said more so in COVID, correct, of training more strongman wise, right?
Yeah. It's pretty much for
Yes.
now, yeah.
So did you have a training partner or other people around you, a coach or something, helping you in this aspect since it was something fairly new to you?
Professionally, I didn't have any help, obviously, because the guy who had reached out to was also trying out because he had seen people lift stones. And to be honest, having access to strongman materials, it's like finding gold is really hard because it's a niche sport. And then you'd have to create everything from logs to stone all by yourself, and the expense that comes along with it, it's like, yeah, unspoken about. So then again, it was really hard. I had to do everything basically by myself with this guy called Eduardo and a friend of mine who also motivated me, my best friend, Olivier Vervallen. So these two guys actually literally led the way and, motivated me because you need people to also like keep saying to you, you're good at it, even though you're not good. I mean, the
Yeah.
environment you happen to be in, it says a lot because there are people who could see things who you don't see. And I keep telling people, surround yourself with people who believe in you. And it has been one of my key success points so far in the sports because you can't see things, you just focus on the negative aspect sometimes. You forget to like focus on what you really have or what you really possess. So you need really honest people and people who really see something in you to be around you, to keep you at equal levels. So not too much negative, not too much positive, but just balanced out there. Checking out your ego and everything. And I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah. The mindset definitely is a huge aspect of it, especially taking you to the next level. And you had even talked about somehow in the beginning, just because it was something new, that you saw a positive impact outside of your life in the gym, like with work and just even your attitude going about life. Can you talk more about that and even maybe share something, your favorite thing about the sport so far?
To be honest, strongman is unlike MMA. MMA you'd have to like literally go against your opponents and try to like beat up your opponent so you could win. Strongman is an individual sport, but then again, it shows you what you're capable of. So going into every comp, you prepare, you get everything ready, and to me, it's like breaking PRs for people to see, because you can't actually force yourself to do something which you've not done before. So then again, it comes to you being honest with yourself because you put in the work and everything, and the rest is just a show. That's how I see strongman. So yeah, basically it comes down to you being the better version of yourself. And there is a saying that says victory means preparation. So once you're prepared, the rest follows. So it's like a you versus you thing. You getting better every day. You getting 1% every day. So when you go out there and you've been like losing a competition and you know you've done way better than or you've surpassed yourself, you have that feeling of satisfaction going inside. That's one thing which is so priceless, Self it's I don't know how to put it, but it's like this great feeling you have, going to bed like you've achieved something. I mean, most achievers know this. So that's one beautiful thing about the sports, yeah?
And it gives you another level of confidence, would you say?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When it comes to competing, obviously you're putting in a lot of work beforehand. What does your mindset look like at competition?
To be very honest, I presume myself, or I deem myself to be a leader in a way that leading the sports in Ghana, to be precise, West Africa.
Mm-hmm.
So every time I'm out there competing, I know I have like these people looking up to me, and representation is everything to me. For the record, strongman is a stepping stone. I want to be a politician in the future. I want to be able to unite my country through sports because sport has been a powerful tool. Talking of football, I mean soccer, talking of basketball and everything. It has really brought nations together, the Olympics. That's the only time you find a nation collaborate together to push out these people. So through the sports and through strongmen, I would love, to unite my country. Obviously, Ghana is still peaceful, but then again, we still have miles to go. So that's my main focus and that's my main vision. So being out there and always competing, I actually think about this, and this feeling of positivity actually drives me and pushes me through each and every activity. It is like an internal motivation that drives me through each and every event, be it hard or easy. But that's the feeling and you know, that's the emotion I look up to. That's the thing I gather. Yeah, if I put it.
Yeah. And I would definitely say that you are a leader in several different ways, but especially in Ghana because this is kind of a new movement there. So, what are your thoughts on the evolution of strongmen, specifically in Ghana? And have you seen more traction in the sport since you have been doing it?
just like the Samoans, they have been great warriors in history. I come from the Fanti and Ashanti clan, so the Fantis and Ashantis were known to be great warriors, and it goes down in history, talking about Yasantua, who was a female warrior and led great men to wars against the British. So you could find strength has been dominant in the history of West Africans. But then again, it comes down to like being able to translate that strength or display it on a bigger stage. So like I said earlier on, strongman is a sport which is really like, it's been there for a long time, for decades. Because as far as I'm concerned, World's Strongest Man was invented in 1977. So it has a big history of sports. But one thing preventing Africans from getting in there is the availability of like the training materials, yeah? So that's one thing I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking forward to bridge. So looking at the sports, I mean, me being the first to represent my country, obviously, it's been a milestone, and I'm looking forward to recruiting people because then again, I do believe we are very strong. Like the Samoans, Africans, of course, Asians. So there's so much untapped resources and strength that I'm willing to like go in depth to like bring onto the natural stage to like show the world, hey, this is it. You know, Africans are being, you know, Africa is here in a way. So that's yeah. It's gonna
Yeah,
get there. I mean,
I think it also takes one person to show that you can do it, and you've gone to different measures than maybe other people thought they could or would to be able to make this dream of yours happen. And you are doing it really well. You are succeeding. So I think really just you starting could definitely help inspire others to start, even if it's not strongman exactly, but get outside their comfort zone and even find their potential like you have in the sport of strongman too.
yeah. I mean, I love the word you use, success, because success to me happens to be four key KPIs, I call them. So state of mind,
Mm-hmm.
because most people or most strongmen happen to live like I said, mostly in their minds, and they don't really enjoy the sport until they win. Win or lose, I feel like
Yeah.
attitude says everything about you. You're doing the sports. Is it to motivate, to inspire, or you're doing it for selfish gains or whatsoever? And I'm gonna put it out here. If you're looking up to do strongman in the future, you should have KPIs internally because not everyone could be world's strongest man. Of course, you could be one of them, but you can't win it always. But then look forward to leave a legacy as one of the KPIs people overlook. Looking forward to make an impact or contribute to the sports should be a KPI people should add to their agendas, you know? Because yeah, everyone is willing, eager, putting everything on the line too, but there could be one person at the end of the day. So like, yeah, making an impact and actually fulfilling these things is something people should look up to. Being self-fulfilled. That was just by the way. Yeah.
Yeah. There are so many things, different things that keep each individual going. And like you said, some are selfish gain. Some of them are just pure enjoyment of the sport. And yeah, what would you say keeps you going in the sport?
Like the saying goes, you'll have to enjoy to play it. I I come from nothing, pretty much more or less. I'm saying this because like I didn't do any sports back in the days. Because you have people who have great stories from transferring from football, American football to strongman. I didn't do any sports as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I was just the kid that went to school just to study. And to me, it's been a big blow because I never imagined myself doing any sports. So being able to like represent Ghana, my country, on the bigger stage through this has been of extra motivation to me because, like I said, I wasn't supposed to be here. I wasn't supposed to be doing this. It found me in a way. And this actually happening alone gave me the extra push and extra motivation to go further and more deeper into the sports. So that's the inspiration I found along the journey because I keep getting better at it. You know, I was not born to be a strongman, like I said, but then the more I try, the more I discover who I am and what I could do. So that's what keeps me going because I want to see how far I could push it, how far I could go. So simply put, the urge of pushing it to the depths of how far I could reach is what keeps me going and keeps me inspired.
I think that's something super special and something super cool to be proud of, especially not coming from much. I think that makes it even more special.
Yeah,
The accomplishments that you've already done, and two, you're still fairly new in the sport, so it's really just getting started for you.
yeah,
And people obviously don't always know what the backgrounds of people, but just hearing you say that, I think that makes you even more of a special athlete and person, and just your work ethic going about it. So I would be so proud of that, and just the movement that you're starting in Ghana and representing Ghana as well.
That's the sure. Approaching everything with positivity is key to me. I mean, I talk in frequency and energy. Like Albert Einstein said, your reality happens to be what you match towards the energy you want to have, if that makes sense. So everything
Yes.
that's happening, I kind of manifested back in the days, and I kind of attached myself to the right people. That's what led me to being here and even talking to you now. And even being part of the AIRWAAV team was something I manifested a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that positive mindset will definitely take you far, and you have these big goals to accomplish. So with that being said, what is it that you're hoping to accomplish within your career as a strongman, especially knowing that you weren't planning on this being your sport, but here you are?
I'd always dreamt of having Guinness World Records, which was achieved earlier this year, surprisingly. So
Yes.
I didn't expect
Congratulations, by
this.
the way.
Thank you very much. I really didn't expect this. It just came. It was an offer that just came earlier after I sustained an injury in Glasgow. So for people who don't know, I had a torn bicep. I tore my muscle. That was my left muscle belly in my bicep at the World Tour Finals in Glasgow from Giants Live. So still recovering. I had this email in my box thanks to the Champions League, and with the proposition of taking part in Guinness World Records. So I remember opening the mail and I had a big heartbeat because I was like, Guinness World Record. I grew up, reading about the tallest man on earth, the shortest guy, and I was like, okay, let's make this happen. So with that said and done, that was one thing I'd always looking up to, and I've been able to achieve it. I became the first strength athlete from Ghana having 3 Guinness World Records. Um, I'm looking forward to becoming Africa's strongest man, hopefully this year, as I look forward to going
Yes.
back home, having the title to make it more meaningful. I look forward to podiuming on Giants Live at the end of this year, hopefully. It's more details I can't share yet because I had an email today as well. I look forward to becoming top 30 in the world, hopefully in the coming years in World Strongest Men. And I look forward to representing Africa or Ghana in the big shows like Rogue Invitational and the Sean Classic, which became new, and also the Arnolds. Because like I said, representation means a lot, but then again, you have to be good before you're selected. So I'm looking forward to getting better and better along the line to be able to have that opportunity. So these are my main KPIs I'm looking up to throughout the journey in my sports career.
Well, I'm rooting for you in all of those different goals, and I know you'll have a lot of different people supporting you, whether they directly tell you or not, especially with who you are and your positive outlook. I think will help you have even more support within these next coming years too.
Thank you so much, Cindy.
You're welcome. So you had talked about you wanting to be a part of the AIRWAAV team a while ago, and really just how big of a fan you are of AIRWAAV in general in our product. So can you share how you even discovered us to begin with?
To be honest, I've been a mouthpiece lover because starting strength sports, starting to deadlift at a very young age, I always realized, clenching my teeth together, which was kind of sometimes really annoying, and it was hard to kind of coordinate or channel my strength because when you pressing through hard objects, we all know it becomes a bit uncomfortable. You could deal with it for some time. So I remember going to is it the other mouthpiece company? I forgot the name, the bigger one. There is a mouthpiece company actually that I forgot the name. So that was the first mouthpiece I started using, but then again, it was actually way too big. But then I had to still adjust to it because I didn't have any other options. And I eventually shifted to the boxing mouthpieces to aid me in training because those were pretty thin. And that's what I used for a long time. So I coming across that wave that was earlier this year. Being the main sponsor of World's Strongest Man, I was really interested. I was like, whoa, what's this company about? So I saw people actually show this. Was it Eddie William? Yeah? Yeah. He actually showed the product description and everything. And I was really curious. So I was like, maybe this a try. This is a go-to because, like I said, I've always been using the mouthpiece from the MMA, which is also slightly shaped very comfortably. So I got in touch with the team, and the team was so generous to actually send me some products. I used it, and that actually helped me push through my training, and especially preparing for World's Strongest Man. That was my main go-to, and it really helped me with the moving events, and even helped me with the deadlifts. And that's how I got in touch with AIRWAAV. So I've been on the mouthpiece for almost decades. People who know me know this. I'm a big mouthpiece lover
Yes.
in training. Yeah.
So you've tried several other mouthpieces before AIRWAAV. What?
Yes. Yes.
And now you're set on AIRWAAV. This is what you like. This is what you love. What sets the AIRWAAV mouthpiece apart from all the other ones you've tried?
To be honest, the product design is so amazing. To be honest, it comes in a very good packaging, which I didn't expect. I mean, the old AIRWAAVs, the old AIRWAAV came in a different color code as compared to the new one, and the color code for the old one was the orange and the red. So endurance came in the red form, and the endurance came in the orange, sorry, and the hits came in the red form. Obviously, to those who are watching or listening, the endurance piece is actually to produce much more force, to help you like through your lifting or like through a yoke walk or whatsoever. And the hit, I personally use it for cardiovascular activities, which helps me breathe as well. I mean, this is the specialty of AIRWAAV. They've been able to distinguish between the products, unlike other companies putting everything to one. Because I do believe the sport happens to be very big with different functionalities. And as a very good company who have done their research and been able to put this out there, said a lot about you. You know what I mean? Because like I said, for cardio
Yes.
you need something different, and for, let's say, for deadlifting you need something different. And they've been able to do such a research and bring two different unique products in separate forms, was one of the mind-blowing aspects from the company AIRWAAV, which actually convinced me to jump on board. And also the product design, helping you to really like cling onto something at the same time having natural oxygen in, was like everything to me, because I've seen people pass out using mouthpieces because of the lack of being able to breathe. And it's something which I'm very keen on. AIRWAAV actually helps you getting more oxygen, more air to be able to like produce maximum outputs, which was very different from the others. So these two things were
Yes.
the main convincing factors: the hit and endurance, being a separation, and then the aspect of being able to cling on something and still being able to grab oxygen is key. And the shapes, yeah,
The other mouthpieces. Go ahead.
the shape of AIRWAAV actually sticks to your mouth, and that was very unique. It's something that doesn't come off easily. You'd have to literally click it out. That was very unique, actually. It was
Yes.
it was mind blowing. Yeah.
The other mouthpieces on the market too do not have the performance aspect of it, whereas AIRWAAV has the benefits of having a mouthpiece in, but is helping you breathe. Like the other mouthpieces, you're not able to breathe. They're too bulky. You're
Yeah.
also able to talk with the AIRWAAV in,
Yeah.
breathe better, and then you're still getting the recovery aspect of it as well. And
Exactly.
you are using it with your cardio and your strength. It's helping with both those. So can you share how you might implement AIRWAAV into your training, and then how you are able to see results specifically in either cardio or your strength training, or both?
Thanks for mentioning recovery. Yeah. So I use the last bit of the piece. Is it the green one or the other color? I forgot the name. So I travel a lot. I'm in Serbia at the moment, speaking to you, and of course I snore a lot as well. So I have what we call sleep apnea, which is very common in the strongman world. Of course, it has not been proven scientifically. It has been researched. I personally do use the AIRWAAV, like the recovery mouthpieces, when I'm flying, because I like to be comfortable and I like to sleep, and which makes a big difference, with actually getting more oxygen in. And it has been a very different. Like I said, AIRWAAV has really researched into their product, having different mouthpieces for different components. So with recovery, I fly, and I actually land with a feeling of having been well rested. So that's one unique feature from AIRWAAV, yeah, that I actually noticed.
Yes.
Yeah, the recovery mouthpiece is a very different product. And with endurance, with a HIIT product, I'm able to do my HIIT workouts. For example, with a short cardio, short sprints, feeling not too beaten up because I'm able to grab some more oxygen to produce more output. So my coach actually put in 20 calories on the air bike with a specific time, and I'm able to beat that more aggressively and more timely. That's very unique, because without the mouthpiece, I actually sometimes used to clench more my teeth. So I'm like, which sort of making me sound, but that was a reality in the gym, obviously. So it was on and on and on and on until I tried using this mouthpiece. Like, is it 4 months ago? Because that's when I actually switched to AIRWAAV. Like I said, I've always been using other mouthpieces. So switching to AIRWAAV, that was the main difference. With the hits, being able to have something to use with my sandbags and back throws and everything, being able to really breathe and produce more power. Also being able to make sounds, because I believe sounds do help in generating max strength, like the all these things.
All the grunting.
Yeah, there we go, the grunting. Yeah? And with endurance, my favorite. To be honest, I'm really in love with endurance because the endurance is what I use for my deadlifts. I use for my yoke walk. I use for all the heavy hits, my squats.
Mm-hmm.
Those who know me on Instagram, they see it every time. I'm really in love with endurance because that's where the max effort or the max force is being produced. So if you're not hitting your squats right, of course you cannot be able to transfer it onto your yoke walk, which requires maximum effort from your legs. So in squats, obviously having the endurance mouthpiece in my mouth, I'm able to push through sets. So I have like sets of 6, set of 8 with like very heavy weights. So being able to reset and properly adjust and feeling comfortable and breathing in properly, I'm able to like finish these workouts, which adds up to the bigger picture. And leading into World's Strongest Man, I came first in my group for yoke walk, which was evident, obviously, with the assistance of the endurance. It made a big difference because it was really warm in North Carolina. So breathing in its natural sense was pretty hard. So I saw people actually out of air and oxygen. But in my case, it actually helped me and I was still able to recover easily and still move around and interact with the crowd. So that was the game changer. That was the main aspect from using
You
airwaves.
touched on this. You touched on this some, and you broke up a little bit in the beginning. But if you are doing a yoke walk, for instance, how are you able to tell a difference whenever you put the AIRWAAV endurance in?
So with a yoke walk, that's how I personally approach it. I kind of seize my breath and clinch onto my teeth just to pick up. But whilst picking up, for example, picking up 1,000 pounds, 450 kilos, is not easy. But then your ability to move further with it requires oxygen and as such breathing.
Yes.
So that's where most people get it wrong. They keep seizing their breath until halfway and they're not able to finish the race. But being able to breathe and as such aggressively helps you to move forward. So it's like a run. We call it a yoke walk, but I call it a yoke run because you have to run with it, and the best time actually wins. So obviously, with runs, you need oxygen. So like with a different grunt, so like if I would put it. So breathing in and breathing out at the same time, having heavy weight in your back, it's a special thing, and it requires lots of training. But with AIRWAAV, I've been able to perfect that with no problem. So still clinging on, still having the tightness I need from my upper back and legs, and still being able to having as much as oxygen as has been a game changer, like I said, and that's how I approach my yoke walk through the use of AIRWAAV. So the
Yeah.
keyword
I think it's
the keyword is being able to really breathe properly and still move this heavy weights very efficiently. And this is coming from a
yes.
mouthpiece lover. Yeah, I've tried so many mouthpieces, and it's really always been a different story. Some are either soft, which is breaks along the journey, or like kind of seizes your breath. And yeah,
With trying so many mouthpieces before, did it take you any time to acclimate or get used to AIRWAAV at all?
it didn't take me much time. One interesting thing was forming the AIRWAAV mouthpiece because it had a different way. Unlike the boxing mouthpieces, you'd have to like put in warm water from the kettle. But AIRWAAV was very
Yes.
unique. I had to put in a microwave, which I was actually doubting because it was really, really new to me. But it worked perfectly fine. Having to put the tissue in between and stuff. I mean, those who have AIRWAAV could attest to the fact. The uniqueness in actually getting the mouthpiece to fit in your mouth is it's a very easy and nice process. Yeah,
Yes. It is a pretty seamless and easy process that literally takes like 5 minutes or so. So
that's
very easy to do.
it is something to write home about. It's very, very unique from the other mouthpieces.
Yeah.
Like I said,
I love that you use all three of our mouthpieces, the
oh yeah,
recovery, the hit, which is now known as the PX1, and the endurance, we call PX2 now. But you use it all across the board, and even in your flights, I think that was something very cool to hear as well, that you're able to get the benefit from the recovery mouthpiece as well, just even sleeping on the plane or anything like that.
oh yeah. Like most people know strongmen are always tired. We try to like just get relaxed and laid back. Obviously, for countries, because we always have meet and greets. Obviously, landing from the airport to the location of distance. So, like I said, being able to rest properly, be it in first class, economy class, or premium economy is paramount. Having the sense of feeling rested and feeling okay. So that's the game changer we've actually had to me. I've been able to breathe properly. Not snoring too much or like having the choking effect. forcing me to wake up within my sleeps.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my last question for you, for someone who is listening to this and who hasn't even used AIRWAAV before, maybe they've tried some other mouthpieces or maybe not even at all, what would be your biggest reason to trying AIRWAAV out?
Guys, AIRWAAV, like AIRWAAV always says, break your best. They're not joking. You'd have to try this to really break your best. I broke my best, and of course, still yet to come. Sit back and watch my journey through AIRWAAV, and if you really doubt it, like I said, sit back and enjoy it. Don't be skeptical, don't think too much, just give it a try and see it for yourself. AIRWAAV is a game changer and it's here to stay. Please and please and please and please to each and everyone doing any strength sport, be it powerlifting, be it weightlifting, or be it CrossFit, give it a try and trust me, there's going to be a massive change in whatsoever. This is something champions use. Talking of Tom Stockman, talking of Mitchell Hooper, to myself and other champions. This is a game changer. And also it cuts across to other sports as well, to golf players, to tennis players and stuff. So be it, let's say, strength athletes, be it other sports guys, give it a try. And trust me, this is going to change your life. It is something which is easy to use and which is something you need, but you don't really know you need it. So I'm just going to put it there, give it a try, and just let me know personally. I'm vouching for AIRWAAV. It always helps me to break my best.
I love it. Perfect. Thank you so much. And thank you for taking the time out of your day and your busy schedule traveling all over. But I wish you the best, and I'm excited to see what you do in the future in these upcoming months too.
Thank you so much, Sydney. And just to add to it, I'm really grateful for the support AIRWAAV as a company gives to the athletes. According to World's Strongest Men, we had care packages, which included food, and even other care products, which was very unique. I mean, unlike other products, unlike other companies, they don't really think of the athletes. But it was really nice having the personalized notes from AIRWAAV actually rooting for you. It feels like, you joining a team that wants you to win, that is rooting for you to succeed, which is a game changer. And
yes, we do.
Shout outs to the AIRWAAV team. To be very honest with you, to be very fair, I'm really grateful to be a part of you. And you guys made a difference. Seeing that notes actually, channeled out the beast in me to give out my best. And there's more to come from Evans Lana. Much respect to all of you. Of course,
we're happy to support you.
Let's go.
All right, thank you, Evans.
Peace. Thank you very much, Sydney.
Well, that's all for today's episode of On the Air. Thank you all for listening, and thank you, Evans, for joining me. Be sure to stay tuned for our next episode, and don't forget to purchase your own AIRWAAV mouthpiece if you want to break your best and unlock your full athletic potential. If you made it this far, be sure to use code OTA15 for 15% off your next purchase. Drop any questions that you have about AIRWAAV in the comments below, and see you next time.